The morning was quiet on Jack Harlan's ranch, the kind of stillness only broken by the soft hum of a country song drifting from his porch. Jack, a weathered rancher and the county sheriff, stood with a biscuit in one hand and coffee in the other, watching the horizon. Then came the rumble. A dumper truck barreled down his private road, crushing his dog's water bowl, a relic that had sat by the fence for 15 years, near the rose bush his late wife, Emily, had planted. The driver didn't stop. Gravel spilled across the dirt like a slap in the face. Jack didn't curse. He set his coffee down, walked inside, and pulled on his sheriff's uniform. The fight had just begun. By the time Jack stepped back outside, 3 more trucks had joined the first, choking the air with dust so thick it swallowed the sun. These weren't county vehicles. They were private contractors, hired cheap and moving fast, tearing through the only road to Jack's ranch. It wasn't just trespassing, it was sabotage. A sleek white SUV rolled up, and out stepped Laura Bennett, heels sinking into the gravel she'd ordered dumped. Clipboard in hand, she barked into her phone about easements and community upgrades. Jack approached, his hat low, hands empty. Laura barely glanced at him, waving him off as a non-resident who needed to clear out. Jack's voice was calm but sharp. "What's your legal grounds for tearing up a county road?" Laura's lips curled, as if tasting something bitter. She claimed the road was misclassified, approved by county records for HOA development. She thrust a blurry permit at him, stamped with a crooked notary seal. Jack folded it, tucked it into his pocket, and watched as trucks dumped stone over his cattle path. His horses reared in the corral, spooked, while the main trough vanished under gravel. Laura signaled the contractor to install a gate across Jack's fence. His ranch hand Ethan ran up, phone in hand, ready to call for help. Jack shook his head. "Let them dig their own grave." Laura wasn't from these parts. She'd moved to Willow Creek with big city money and bigger ambitions, eyeing the neighborhood as her personal canvas. 2 months earlier, she'd waltzed into an HOA meeting in a tailored suit, pitching her Willow Expansion Initiative. She flashed glossy maps and promised soaring property values, all by carving a road through Jack's land. Most of the board cheered. Only Tom Reed, the treasurer, hesitated, pointing out boundary issues. Laura dismissed him, claiming she'd cleared it with the county. She hadn't. Her lawyer, Greg, forged the permit's notary stamp, and Laura paid him extra to keep quiet. She thought Jack was just another stubborn rancher who'd fold under pressure. She was wrong. Jack wasn't just a rancher, he was the sheriff, and he knew the county's road map like the back of his hand. That night, he walked the damaged road, camera in hand, snapping photos of the broken trough, the crushed rose bush, and tire tracks through his fence. He stood where Emily used to sit, capturing the SUV's tread marks inches from the old water bowl. Then he made a call to dispatch, requesting all HOA permits from the last 90 days. The response came fast. No valid permits existed. The notary stamp was linked to a woman dead for 6 years. Jack smiled faintly. The trap was set. The next morning, drones buzzed over the ranch, mapping the destruction. Jack installed trail cams and a body cam on a fence post. When the trucks returned at 9 a.m., Laura stayed in her SUV, sending a contractor with a cease and desist order addressed to an unknown squatter. Ethan laughed in disbelief. Jack just nodded, filing the paper with the fake permit. A neighbor dropped by with a pie and a warning. The HOA planned to rezone Jack's land for commercial use, locking him behind a private gate. Ethan suggested calling the county commissioner. Jack pointed to his badge, glinting in the hallway. "Not yet. Let them bury themselves first." Laura, oblivious, went live on the HOA's social page, boasting about her utility access lane and mocking illegal residents resisting progress. Jack recorded every word. Meanwhile, a red flag popped up in the county records office. The notary stamp was fraudulent, and someone was deleting HOA filings in real time. Jack got the call at midnight. He leaned back in the dark, knowing they thought he was powerless. They were about to learn otherwise. Days later, an anonymous USB arrived at Jack's door. It held a video of Laura at a wine bar, laughing as she mocked Sheriff Dusty, and admitted to the forged permit. Jack's jaw tightened, but his eyes stayed cold. He sent copies to the county attorney and state ethics board. The evidence pile grew: 200 photos, drone footage, audio of contractors admitting illegal orders. Laura kept pushing, ordering concrete poured before the county could intervene. She thought momentum would shield her. Jack wanted her to keep building. Every post was another nail in her coffin. The breaking point came when Jack spotted a new sign. Future site of Willow Creek Emergency Lane. It stood on state-protected conservation land, a violation carrying a $50,000 fine. Jack called the environmental office, submitting GPS coordinates and footage. 2 days later, inspectors arrived, taking soil samples and halting work. Laura rushed to the site, waving her fake permits. The inspector, unfazed, asked to see them. Jack watched from the tree line, his face unreadable. Laura's confidence cracked as she realized her lies were unraveling. The county hearing was electric. Laura strutted in, heels clicking, Greg trailing with a briefcase of half-truths. She expected to charm the rural officials. Then Jack stood, badge gleaming, and laid out his evidence: photos, videos, the forged permit, and the conservation violation. Laura's face drained of color. She accused Jack of abusing his power, her voice shrill, but the commissioner silenced her. The panel halted all construction, froze permits, and ordered an audit of the HOA. Laura's empire crumbled in minutes. Outside, reporters swarmed. A blogger's tweet of Jack holding his evidence folder went viral. Laura's desperate statement to a news channel, flustered and defensive, became a meme titled, "Gravel Justice." Back at the ranch, Jack and Ethan repaired fences, ignoring the noise. The HOA imploded. Residents demanded transparency, and Tom Reed exposed Laura's threats. She was voted out unanimously. Greg faced disbarment, and Laura fled to the city, her name synonymous with failure. The county sent bulldozers, not to build, but to demolish. The illegal road vanished, and Jack worked with environmentalists to restore the land. Native plants returned, and a public trail replaced the gravel scar, marked with signs about the ranch's history. A documentary, M. Sherif vs. Subdivision/M, spread Jack's story, ending with him riding along his fence line, the land healed behind him. Jack sat on his porch one evening, badge on the table, coffee in hand. The cattle grazed under a wide sky. Ethan asked what came next. Jack paused, then said, "Justice is quiet when it's done right." The fight was over, the line held, and the land was his again, not by court order, but by right. What do you think of Jack's stand? Was Laura's ambition justified, or did she cross a line that deserved her downfall? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let us know how you'd handle a clash like this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more stories of grit and justice.